How's it going, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install Zippy blade inserts and handle jimping plugs into the Fellowship Blades Hognose trainer. The objective of this mod is to add end weight to increase momentum during flipping. So to begin with, we'll start with the tip weight. It's going to have a textured side and then the smooth linear side, with the textured side facing up and the smooth linear side facing down into the blade. We're going to orient the blade so that the Fellowship logo is facing up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook in this bottom section into the insert like that. Then I'm going to hook in the top section of the insert like so. So it's bowing up. And then I'm just going to use my thumb to pop it into place. And then I'm going to examine this other side. You can see the lip is folded over in sections, so I'm going to push it from underneath in the spots where the lip is folded over and just smooth it out. And then I'm going to turn it over, examine the other side, and make sure that the lip is not folded over there. Everything looks good, nice and flush with the blade. So this is the tip weight, and it's going to add increase momentum by adding weight at the tip of the blade. There's another insert that we'll install as well. This one is purely for cosmetics. I personally enjoy the balance best without it, but if you're going for a specific look or your balance preference happens to be different than mine, feel free to install it. And what I did is I just hooked in this bottom section here and then hooked in the top section so it's bowing out in the middle, and then I just press it in with my thumb and made sure if there's any sections with the lip folded over, like here, I'm going to push it from underneath, get the lip unstuck, and then smooth it back out just like that. So this insert, the tip insert, is going to be heavier than this one. This one's completely hollow. It's purely for cosmetics. I try to make it as light as possible, but it does have a minor effect on the balance. Whether you prefer it or not is entirely up to your personal preference. I typically run the Hognose without this one for the best flipping performance. All right, so we just installed the blade inserts. Now what we're gonna do is install these jimping plugs that add a little bit of weight to the end of the handles. I'll show you. I've got my trusty Bally spindle here. I'm gonna tear my scale. So for reference, one tungsten ball weighs 0.021 ounces, and one of these jimping plugs weighs 0.016 ounces. So it does add a decent amount of weight to the end of the handle, not quite as much as one tungsten ball, but luckily it is enough to make a noticeable difference in the balance. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna orient this jimping plug so that the curved side is facing into the channel, and this stepped side is going to essentially mimic the jimping that's already in place on the Hognose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to push in the jimping insert, and then with my thumb, I'm just going to slide it into place, and you will face some resistance. It's a friction fit, and what I'm trying to do is just push it into place so that it's flush. And you can see here it's not quite flush, so now's a good time to show you how to remove it. I'm just gonna dig in with my nail, pull it out here, and if you have nails, you can grip it and just kind of pull it out like so. And I'm gonna just try again. And if you're having trouble getting the jimping flush, you can just sort of push it in a little further before pushing with your thumb. Just try and make it easier for yourself. And that one seemed to work. It's pretty flush, hard to catch on the camera. I am going for perfection, so I'm gonna redo it. The easiest way to pull these out is hook them up with your fingernail and then use needle nose pliers. I would be gentle. You don't want to scratch the anodization on your handles. So another way to install them is simply push them in sideways, align the end of the jimping plug like so, and then we're going to take a thin rigid object and just push it into place. Sometimes it can be hard to overcome the friction to get it perfectly flush, but that did the trick. Now it's perfectly flush. So you can use any of those techniques. We want the jimping of the handle to align with the jimping of the jimping plug here, so it doesn't get in the way, but it does add a little bit of grip, but most importantly, weight. Luckily, the cutouts in the blade allow us to implement this mod. So now we'll do the other side. I'll do that first technique. I'm just gonna slide it into place, push it in with my thumb until it's flush. This side behaved a little more perfectly flush on the first try for the most part. And if you're happy with it, I'm happy with it. So we've just added weight to the handle ends, and you can select these in different colors if you want to mark the safer bite handle. And then we added weight to the blade as well. And both of these mods in tandem are going to improve the momentum and change the personality of the Hognose and make the balance really enjoyable. Thanks for watching, guys.